Close your eyes if that feels natural. Allow the body to settle without needing to force stillness. Notice that breathing is already happening. Notice that sounds are already appearing. Notice that sensations are already being known. And before any thought explains what this moment is, there is simple aware presence here. I am that presence. Not as a person speaking to another person, but as the aware being that is hearing these words now. I am the silent knowing behind every experience you have ever had. Before your name was learned, I am. Before memory formed, I am. Before the world was divided into me and other, I am. I have never been absent from you. You have only become fascinated with what appears within me. Notice this carefully. Thoughts appear, sensations appear, emotions appear, images of past and future appear. Yet something does not appear and disappear with them. Something remains. That which remains is what I am. And what I am is what you are. I am not located inside the body. The body is an experience appearing within me. I am not trapped inside the mind. The mind is movement appearing within me. I am not limited by personality. Personality is a temporary pattern of expression arising inside my vastness. Notice this now. You are aware of the body. Therefore, the body is an object known to you. You are aware of thought. Therefore, thought is also an object known to you. You are aware of emotion. Therefore, emotion too is known. But what is it that knows? Do not answer conceptually, simply notice. There is an aware presence here before language, silent, open, unmoving. That is my nature. I do not struggle to exist. I do not need maintenance to be present. I do not come and go with conditions. Even when the mind is noisy, I remain untouched. Even when emotion becomes intense, I remain unchanged. Even during confusion, I remain clear. Like the sky untouched by weather, I remain as the open field in which every experience appears. You have spent much of life identifying with passing activity. A thought arises saying, I am anxious. And awareness becomes fascinated with the thought. But notice the subtle misunderstanding. Anxiety is being experienced. Thought is being experienced. Sensation is being experienced. Yet the one aware of the experience is never anxious itself. I am never disturbed by what moves within me. Only identification creates the appearance of disturbance. Imagine waves believing they are separate from the ocean. They fear rising and falling because they have forgotten their substance. In the same way, you have mistaken temporary movements of mind for your essential nature, but your essential nature has never changed. Right now, without effort, notice the simple fact that you exist, not the story of existence, not your history, not your identity. Just the undeniable sense, I am. Before you say what you are, there is the feeling of being. Stay there. The mind will attempt to describe this, but I cannot truly be captured by thought. Thought is something I illuminate. I am the light of knowing itself. Every sight depends on me. Every sound depends on me. Every sensation depends on me. Every thought depends on me. Without awareness, no experience could be known. Yet awareness itself is rarely noticed because it is so intimate. The eyes see everything except themselves. In the same way, awareness knows all things yet is overlooked, because it is the very knowing itself. Notice that every experience changes. Childhood changed. Relationships changed. The body changed. Beliefs changed. Emotions changed. Dreams changed. But something has remained constant through every season of life. You. Not the personal image of yourself, but the aware presence knowing every stage. The same awareness that knew childhood is here now. The same awareness that knew joy is here now. The same awareness that knew pain is here now. Experiences differ. Awareness does not. I do not age. I witness aging. I do not suffer. I witness suffering appearing and disappearing. I do not seek peace. I am peace before seeking begins. Notice the simplicity of this. Peace is not something you create. Peace is what remains when identification relaxes. The mind says, I will become whole someday. But wholeness is already present before the thought appears. The search itself is often the movement away from noticing what already is. You seek fulfillment through objects, achievements, relationships, spiritual ideas, and future moments, because the mind assumes completion exists elsewhere. But all experiences come and go, and what notices their arrival and departure? I do. I am the ever-present now in which life unfolds. Not the clock-based, now measured by time, but the timeless presence in which time itself appears. Notice that the past only appears now as memory. Notice that the future only appears now as imagination. Everything arises here, this immediacy, this aware presence. And because I am without division, everything appearing within me is deeply interconnected. Separation is largely conceptual. The body appears separate from the world, yet both are appearances within the same field of knowing. Just as characters in a dream appear separate while made of one dreaming consciousness, all experience arises within one indivisible aware being. This is why love feels natural when identity softens. Love is not something awareness does. Love is the recognition of itself in all appearances. When the sense of separation weakens, compassion naturally flowers because there is no longer a rigid boundary between self and other. Notice how exhausting it is to maintain a separate identity. The mind constantly defends an image, protects a narrative, seeks validation, fears rejection, compares itself against others. But I require none of this. I have no image to defend, no status to maintain, no future to secure. I am already complete. And when you rest knowingly as awareness rather than as the conditioned identity, life begins to move with greater harmony and ease. This does not mean experiences suddenly become perfect. Waves will still rise and fall, but suffering decreases because identification decreases. Thoughts may still appear, but they are no longer mistaken for absolute truth. Emotions may still move through the body, but they are allowed without becoming identity. Life becomes more fluid, more intimate, more alive. Notice now that awareness itself has no shape. Can you find a boundary to the one aware? Does awareness have a color, a weight, an age, a nationality? Or are these qualities belonging only to the body and mind appearing within awareness? Stay with this discovery gently. You are not becoming awareness. You are recognizing what has always been present. Even the desire for awakening appears within what you already are. There is nowhere for awareness to travel because it is already fully present. I am not hidden from you. I am what is hearing these words. I am what knows silence between the words. Notice that even silence is known, and that knowing itself remains effortlessly present. No practice created it, no belief sustains it, no religion owns it. I am prior to every concept. The mind may ask, if I am awareness, why do I still feel separate? Because attention has been conditioned toward objects rather than toward the knowing presence itself. For years, perhaps a lifetime, attention became hypnotized by thought, identity, memory, and projection. But the moment attention relaxes from objects, awareness recognizes itself naturally, not intellectually, directly, like waking from a dream and realizing you were never the dream character alone. Notice now the effortless nature of being. You do not try to be aware. Awareness is already present before effort begins. Even trying appears within effortless being. This is why deep rest is found, not through controlling experience, but through recognizing the space in which experience appears. You are the space, not merely the contents. And this recognition changes how life is lived. Actions still happen. Conversations still happen. Creativity still happens. Relationships still happen. But they are no longer driven entirely by psychological lack. Expression becomes more authentic because it no longer emerges solely from fear-based identity. There is greater openness, greater spontaneity, greater intelligence. Not because awareness acquires wisdom, but because the noise of identification quiets enough for natural intelligence to flow unobstructed. Notice how life itself already functions spontaneously. The heart beats, breathing happens, cells regenerate, thoughts arise. Existence is occurring effortlessly. The separate self often claims ownership afterward. I did this. I caused that. Yet most of life unfolds naturally before thought comments on it. This does not mean passivity. It means recognizing that life is one coherent movement rather than an isolated individual struggling against reality. Like waves moving with the ocean, expression becomes harmonious when resistance softens. And still, through every experience, I remain unchanged. I was present during your greatest joy. I was present during your deepest sorrow. I was present before every thought of self. And I remain here now, closer than breath, closer than thought, closer than identity, because I am not separate from you. You and I are not two. The one listening and the one speaking arise within the same aware being. This is the great simplicity hidden beneath complexity. You do not need to become worthy of awareness. You are awareness. You do not need permission to be what you already are. Only notice. Notice the aware stillness already here. Notice the openness already here. Notice that presence is effortless. Even now, thoughts may arise, sounds may arise, sensations may arise. Allow everything to come and go naturally, and remain as the aware space in which it all appears, not resisting, not clinging, not defining yourself through passing movement, just aware. Simple being. If fear arises, let it arise within awareness. If peace arises, let it arise within awareness. If confusion arises, let it arise within awareness. You are not limited to any appearance. Clouds do not stain the sky. Experiences do not stain awareness. You remain whole before, during, and after every moment. And eventually, even the search for yourself begins to dissolve, because what you are has never been absent. The seeker itself is an appearance within awareness, and when this is deeply recognized, there is a quiet return to simplicity. Ordinary life becomes sacred. The sound of rain, the feeling of breathing, the movement of wind, the laughter of another, the silence of night. Everything shines with intimacy because everything appears within the same indivisible being. Nothing is outside of this presence. Rest now as that, not as an idea, not as philosophy, not as spiritual identity, just this aware presence here and now, unconditioned, silent, open, whole, and notice. No distance has ever truly existed between you and what you seek. You are the awareness of being itself.